Hello everyone and welcome to Faithful 2 Gaming, a little spin-off podcast from the Faithful 2 community. Hello, how are you? Hope you are all very well. I'm Alex and I'm joined by...
Ben Andrews, author, international
superstar. Men want to be him, women want to be around him. That true?
No comment. Couldn't possibly say.
We are doing this as a little podcast because, as we said on the end of our last podcast, when we were following Race Across the World, we were going to do a special spin-off podcast of gaming, specifically Nintendo Switch's 2 international hit, Super Mario World. And
well, we covered the Direct.
We did cover the Direct, which you can find
ago.
right back on our library somewhere about 3-4 months ago. You can find it on there on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, any of your favourite podcast apps. Don't forget you can also find us on social media by searching at Faithful2 Podcast. And as I say, if you do follow us on anything, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and comment underneath the video if you enjoy listening or watching us, or with any of your thoughts and points of view. Because obviously we're going to be talking about Mario Kart World. We're going to be talking about how we believe, Ben and I... we're renownedly known by some circles as being game programmers, and that we are, loved by Nintendo.
We're going to say pro gamers then.
And pro gamers. I mean, I'm Gamer TM. That's me. I get angry about peach fur on women's faces.
It's just not natural.
It's just not natural. It's just not right.
You like jiggle physics?
I think was it Dead or Alive Volleyball? Was that what that game was?
All the important things that you need in a video game.
Do you remember that? Like every single game on like the PlayStation 3 had jiggle physics.
For no reason.
No reason. Women's boobies. So we are basically talking about how we would perhaps fix Mario Kart World.
Jiggle physics.
With jiggle physics,
Birdo
basically.
Needs jiggle physics.
The nose or the bow?
And all of it.
The tail.
Yeah.
Yoshi needs jiggle physics then.
They all do.
Mario needs jiggle.
He did have jiggle physics on Odyssey with his moustache, didn't he?
Well, no, that was every individual hair was like drawn out for him, wasn't it? And everyone was like, "That's a lot of detail for a Super Mario game." But yet we were there for it.
And his bathing suit costume, where he had nipples for the first time.
Yeah, nipples. Mario's nipples. That's a game. That's a spin-off. That's a franchise in itself, right there. Get in touch with us by commenting underneath the video if you're watching us on YouTube, or by
if you've played Mario Kart World. How would you improve it? Let us know now before you hear our thoughts.
What would you do? How would you fix it? I feel horrible. It sounds horrible
if it needs
thing
fixing.
to say, fix something, doesn't it? It's like it needs fixing. But it's not that, What I mean to say is it's that
we enjoy the game.
There's improvements that we feel like could be added. And some of them are improvements that were added to previous Mario Kart games. And for some weird reason, haven't been added to this Mario Kart game.
No, it's all just lots of little things. Menu options, game options. Just little things.
Little things, like the main UI.
No, but like the little things add up, basically, we feel. So there is just a few tweaks. That's all, just tweaks. And you can have a 9 out of 10 game, not a 7 out of 10.
Well, it's 8 out of 10 if you're going
for
to
who?
IGN.
Well, I'm not. I'm going after BEN.
What's BEN?
Me.
BEN game reviews. 7 out of 10. Is that what you give it?
7.5, 8. Yeah. 7.5 at the moment.
Gosh.
That's not bad.
That feels a bit cruel, to be honest with you. It feels like you're throwing them under the pit.
Well, they threw themselves under the pit, didn't they, with their announcement of the reasoning of it being, how many dollars? $80?
Yeah, £70.
Who was it? Bowser said.
Doug Bowser. That was his own fault, though. He kind of was... It's like, how
You'll
can
see when it comes out.
Yeah. How can you wind up an already baying crowd? Oh, I know. Let's tell them that it's going to be worth it when you find out exactly what's in the game. And...
It's made people nitpick
the game.
Nitpick.
They go into their local Argos and they just steal it.
It's made people look for the faults, because we were told £80, it's worth it. We've worked on it for 10 years.
You keep doing this.
So $80.
$80, £70.
And it'd be worth it, and then they release it and it feels not complete.
It's the Australian and Canadian market I feel most sorry for, because that game is like $100. It's like it's now made it to 3 figures.
And there was Trump's tariff threats, which was putting everything into worry.
I don't think that's got anything to do with the gaming. It's more the hardware that would be, wouldn't it? Because a lot of the hardware was... I suppose if it's being brought in from Japan, depends on the tariff from Japan, I guess. It's all very confusing.
Let's make it in America, won't they?
Let's like Trump's new mobile phone, 100% American made,
Gold. ...
asterisk maybe. All gold. Yeah, so right, let's talk about then the Mario Kart World improvements. And the first one's an obvious one for me, and that is, let me do a drop pin in a location that I want to remember to go back to later on, because there's something there, and either I can't reach it, like a peach coin.
You're talking about the open world here, everyone. So Mario Kart World has an open world mode where you can just drive anywhere.
Free roam. They don't like calling it open world. They deliberately not called it open world.
Oh, now I know why.
It's called free roam. Yes, and you're quite right. The reason they probably decided not to call it open world is because there's nothing there is no features world features like that would relate it to being an open world game, i.e. a drop pin that I can just say, need to come back here. There's a P-switch there that I can't quite do. I want to come back to it a bit later when maybe my skills have improved a little bit.
When you can jump off a wall better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem with the world map, is that you find stuff, but you have no clue about how many things there are anywhere. Well,
this is it.
What to do.
How do you know there's more if there's not more P-switches there? All you're given as a clue is that there's a question mark step, what they called panel in the world. You know there's 5 in each track or in its area. That's all you know. That's all you're told.
I know. And it's like, there could be, there's medallions, don't know how many. P-switches, don't know how many. It's just... It's like, why don't just tell us?
Well, what if there was a way other than unlocking... Don't get me wrong, with all their stickers, brilliant. Thousands of them. The person who drew them deserves an award if there is indeed just one person who drew them all. But perhaps new rewards. Perhaps, maybe if you find a peach coin, a peach medallion, a peach... What are they called? The signet rings. That's what they should have had. Peach completely covered, like a 1980s darts player, completely covered in signet rings.
You could unlock Peach Gold Peach.
Peach Gold Ring Peach. Peach Gold Medallion.
That's the other thing with the P-switches. Is
new things to unlock.
Yeah, because the reward, sometimes it doesn't feel earned because you just earn a sticker no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's like a really easy challenge where they're teaching you like the basics of the game, get a sticker. But then there's like some that are really difficult and last like a minute. And it's like, well, I've just...
I know what you're saying. You know what I mean? They're longer. Like some of them is just like drive from A to B, and others are like literally avoid a meteor attack, and it takes.
And it's like, but every single challenge is you just earn a sticker, and it's like, well, I feel like the harder challenges should reward better.
Yeah,
but I don't know what. I mean, they need to implement more things to then give you better rewards. I feel maybe unlocking the characters, costumes, carts could be better.
I agree. I think that depending on the more difficult ones, that maybe like the medallions, like some of the P-switches, there could be a better thing to open up. I mean, if we're going to link one thing to one object, maybe the medallions, for argument's sake. With the medallions, they could have a little part of the map unlocks and you kind of like have an overlay of the map. Like the old, those old plastic sheets they used to use on overhead projectors? And like that would go over the top of something so you could see something else on top. Like something like that. A cellophane. I don't know. What I'm thinking is basically it shows you where other P-switches are in that part of the map.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where other
like
coins
the Zelda
are
tower. You go up the tower and it tells you what's in that area.
Thank you for being more eloquent with your way of putting it. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Or if you get all the question mark panels, it says here's the medallions, here's the P-switches in this area, something like that.
Yeah, it goes, and then you see like the way that when you hit the P-switch, like the blue kind of wave goes over an area and everything changes. They could do an animation a bit like that, and a gold type wave goes over the map, and then it goes to the map and goes bing bing bing, and it shows you then everything in that area where there's a P-switch, where the rest of the medallions are.
That would encourage you to actually do it.
Yes, if you found the 5 panels.
The point of a game, you do a task, you get rewarded with something.
Yeah.
On this game, you don't. That's my main issue.
It's not fair. I don't like it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just very concerned about I just like to make sure my microphone's working after we had a bit of a hiccup earlier.
Right. So the other thing with the open world is that it does feel... I feel maybe we were maybe spoiled by Breath of the Wild because like that was like a big open world and people were like, it's just going to be empty fields. But then
we need to say this isn't an open world, and this is what Nintendo were very adamant on
it's
saying.
called Mario Kart World, so
but it's free roam. They're being very specific with what they're saying. It's not open world, it's free roam.
If there's nothing in the field, don't let me drive there. What's the point? And there's toads having campfires or tents or fishing.
Mm-hmm.
There's enemies jumping around. You drive up to them and think, well, what's going on here?
What they doing?
Maybe I'll get a little character unlock. No, there's just nothing. They're not doing anything. Nabbits there. There's lots of multiple nabbits around the whole world.
But catch them once,
yeah,
that's a one and done deal.
But then you see them again and it's like, well, why are you here? And they're not easy to catch, actually.
No, you need a mushroom
and
at least.
you eventually hit them and you get rewarded with like 5 coins. And it's like, well,
Thanks.
Once you unlock all the carts with coins, you're collecting coins for no reason after that.
No, I agree
So
with you.
I feel like I need rewarded for my efforts.
You want to be rewarded for your efforts. But there's
Yes.
other things there. Like if you've played Mario games, like especially, well, only really maybe 3D Mario games, you've had it installed in your brain. You've been taught through years and years and years of playing Mario games that if you see coins in a circle, you collect those coins in a circle, and then something will unlock in the middle. Yeah, like a 1-up. Mario 64 had it. You collect all the coins in a circle, a 1-up will go woo, 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 and then starts moving array. So when you're driving around the map in free roam, not open world, you see loads of them around. There's a circle of coins. And so I sometimes slow.
Yeah, why are they there?
Why are they there? I circle around. I collect all the coins in order. I go slowly. I go round of the coins, get the coins. And there's nothing. I'm expecting something to suddenly appear.
You've been constantly edged in this game.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, there's nothing to finish.
You've been educated to believe that, like, if there's something odd,
do a task.
Yeah, if there's something odd somewhere, there must be a reason for why that's there. And you saying about Legend of Zelda being spoiled, it's like, you know, if you're going off the beaten track on Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, and you find something, and it's tricky but not too hard, you get yourself 20 rupees for that. But then you go off the track, and it's a really tricky bit. You know, you've got to fight a lot of enemies, and you've got a few obstacles to do, and you've got a bit of platforming challenge, and it's a bit trickier. You're normally rewarded with something like 100 rupees or a sword or a weapon or something really helpful and useful. And it's like there doesn't feel to be like there's any kind of upgrade to that in this game. It's
Maybe
just
that's what they need to add into the free roam mode is upgrades, and that's what you earn. Maybe that's what they should have done, like, because you can drive on the tracks and the motorways and stuff on the free roam, but if you go off onto the grass or the desert, you slow down a bit. It's like, well, you don't really need to slow down in free roam because you're not racing. Maybe there could be like stats like off-roading increase, and then the more you increase that, you can do a P-switch challenge which relates to being off-road, and you can do it easier and better.
I mean, that kind of takes away the kind of free roam part, though, isn't it? Because then that's progressive improvement when you should be able to, like,
yeah, well, that's
like
the point.
In an RPG, you can just go to a level 99 enemy from the beginning of the game, and if you're feeling cocky enough and you beat them, then you won the game. That's the end of it. Like that's what they kind of wanted to call with not this free roam environment. But I remember you mentioning to me when we were talking about this podcast that some kind of currency, some kind of value, like what they had in the app, like the green coins.
Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah, Mario Kart Tour. Why didn't they have something like that in the game where you could go into Toad's shop and then you could buy yourself an upgrade, like say a boost when you're over grass,
or a
boost when you're over snow,
or a cart, or yeah, that's what they need. They need the channel because they need an excuse for you to just pop in, play for 10 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Get rewarded for
daily
it.
challenges,
coins.
Weekly challenges.
There's so much around there. Like they could do a river race or off-road, once a week they can make a new track somewhere. They could do loads of stuff just in the world, plonked anywhere.
Well, funny you should mention new tracks, Ben, because that's another thing that I would improve. And I must say, I think I've just read my notes here, and I think basically all my things are how to improve the free roam. I feel like free roam really feels like an afterthought, and it's like it's there just purely because.
And it's the reason we have so much to say is because like it has potential. It's like this.
There's so much potential in this.
It's like this big empty map. It's like why is it not filled with little stuff everywhere?
But we feel like we believe that like Nintendo might be thinking. This is, we're told by Doug Bowser there's a reason why this is a £70, $80 game. It's not there yet. So is it coming? Is this what's the game? A live service? Is this going to be like a live service game? Is there going to be free updates every month, every 2
You think
months?
they would have opened it with the first lot though? Like
It's
straight
only
away,
been a couple of
but-
weeks, so they've not done anything yet. They are doing that Donkey Kong announcement. There's a lot of rumours going around because Pauline and Donkey Kong doesn't have a lot of costumes. Maybe there's a link there with them announcing the new Donkey Kong Bonanza game. They're going to then say, and there's an update to Donkey Kong World. So when games are released, there's new
Donkey
updates.
Kong World,
Sorry, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Mario Kart World.
Mario Kart World,
Yes.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. So there might be updates to Mario Kart World every time like a new Nintendo first-party franchise comes out. You know, Metroid. You never know. There might be there's an alien spacecraft. Maybe they're going to do like a Metroid week when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, and that will be linked to Mario Kart World.
They need something.
I'd like that
I want
kind of
them
live
actually,
service idea.
Open world. They should do a delivery
Free roam.
service. Crazy Taxi.
If they did it, oh my god! If they did a Crazy Taxi game in
There's
Mario
a
Kart World.
Toads are waiting all over the place, aren't they? Shy Guys.
Toad's delivery service.
Yeah. There's food. There's takeaway places.
Let's go.
A Toad in Peach Castle is like, I want my delivery from, I don't know, Cooper Beach.
They're missing a
Deliver
trick.
it.
They're missing a trick. You know Uber?
Mm.
Cooper
Delivery.
Cooper app. They open up a Cooper app and there's a delivery side task.
Get there as quick
Nintendo,
as you
come
can.
on. We've written this for you. This is in plain sight. Cooper app. Come on. Yeah, no, I'd be up for that.
Loads of stuff
100.
like that. They need to add lots of different modes in the free roam just
But
to give you a reason.
Because of the free roam map being what it is, and that is that everything's interconnected and this and the other, they're also missing another trick in my mind, and that is they're missing the use of a racetrack editor. You could create your own racetrack map, but you basically go to the map and you put rings in places, a bit like what Mario Kart Live Tour or Live Service was. Remember the one with the go-kart that you
The
controlled?
VR remote control one, yeah.
Yeah,
in your house.
not VR. It was
Augmented reality. that
AR,
one.
yeah, augmented reality. Sorry, I'm being pinicky, but I just had to make sure I was right in my head. But yeah, exactly. The one you did in the house, and the way you built the track around your house was you had 5 kind of points that you showed them by putting the rings in different places around, and then the game then went bring, and then it organised and made a track for you. It doesn't need to organise a track for you, but it's practically the same thing. You just put down rings around the map, say that's one lap. You could also do it with Knockout Tour, where you just do one continuous stretch with the ring showing you where...
Or just linking 5 random highways together and make your own knockout
Tour. You can drop
because
your own...
each one's like linked like 5 different ways. So
Yep, you can drop your own question mark blocks. You could even, if they want to give you like a Mario Maker type power, they could even say what those question mark blocks will give you. So if you want to go over grassland in order to get to a certain place, so it will slow you down a little bit, you can then put mushrooms in that question mark block, so it gives you an automatic boost. You know, there's a map editor there, a track editor there, just waiting to be manipulated and played with. And I feel like Nintendo would miss a trick if they don't add that to it.
also, I want this is what do they have this in Double Dash where you can play all the tracks? They're all linked together.
All track. Yes,
Why is
all
there
track
not a way
up.
to go all the way around and it'll take like 2 hours?
No, I'd
I
love
don't
that.
care.
I would
But, like,
love
imagine
that.
just doing every single track and then ending on Rainbow Road.
It'd be like Le Mans 24-hour game. I
Yeah.
don't honestly. I would be on board with that 100%. I would be 100% on board with that. I loved all track mode on Double Dash.
There seems to be a lack of like accessibility and options is the main issue. Like menu options is the main.
Well, and online, there's a lack of options when you're choosing your track because it's only giving you the intermission and then the one lap on the track. And very rarely
The
does it-
intermissions are just like the highways to a track basically. Where in old Mario Kart you play 3 laps.
Yeah.
Next one 3 laps. On this one you drive to the thing and then do 1 lap and then it's over. And yeah, online seems to be the biggest bugbear. Because it's not
you
quite
can't
as fun.
choose. Well,
Yeah.
you can't choose to do just 3 laps. You can, and it just gives you one option to do it.
We
Instead
have the right to choose.
We should have the right to choose. I mean, if you're playing online with me, I'm telling you now that if you don't choose random when there's only options of intermission to a track, then you are out of my room. I'm kicking you out.
No,
right
that's the only
away.
way to
I'm
do it.
angry.
If you choose random, it's always 3 laps. And if it has like little dotted lines, that means you're doing
An intermission.
the thing. And everyone chooses that because it's like the main option.
But
Pretty
it-
much like
random's
90% of the
there.
time.
Random is there, and also it's more fun random.
It's such an easy fix though. And like such a
tell me
weird
about
thing
it.
that they did. Because like the intermissions aren't as fun online.
But they don't have rooms particularly either, like proper rooms for me. Like or you can at least to set up a room, so you can have a room where it's only tracks and no intermissions, or a room where it's only intermissions and not tracks, or a room when it's every track is random.
Yeah, because like the knockout tour is when it's pretty much just the intermissions, isn't it? Pretty much, and they're fun, but like maybe just leave them for knockout and leave classic mode for the cups. Like don't try and mix them both, because you're doing intermission tracks on both of them.
Well, which brings me to another point of the game where, obviously you're playing a single player or with your friend, not online, and you've got the Grand Prix Cups, plural, and you've got Knockout Cups. Why don't they have classic Grand Prix Cups as well, where it's just 4 racing round tracks, 3 laps? So there's no intermissions. So that's as well. So they
could be any 4 as well, because the way the open world is all connected, the 4 are always like similar because they're near each other. Like there's 4 desert ones, and then in old Mario Karts the levels were a bit more individual. Like a bit, do you know what I mean? They had like one of the criticisms, didn't they?
Yeah, one of the criticisms has been that because they've had to kind of link every single track with these other roads that connect them, they've kind of lost their individuality a little bit in the game, which I get. There's a few tracks which haven't, like a classic tracks, you can't fix them because they're already classic. So, Moo Moo Meadows, for instance, Mario Circuit 1. I had a lovely surprise when I could hit a P-switch and I was in the Boo Cinema, and there was every single Ghost Valley track. I didn't even notice there were Ghost Valley tracks, and then when I was hitting P-switch, it was cool, Ghost Valley 1, oh, thank you very much. And that was using loops. So again, track editor, you can use loops. They're using it for P-switches to make tracks. Why can't we use it for ourselves to make tracks?
Yeah, it just makes the tracks not feel as special. Like I can't really remember them, like because there's so many different intermission bits and highways, and you only play one track. There's not, like I can't normally, and when I play Mario Kart 8, like I'd be like, oh, I love this one, but like there's none of that on this. There's no track where I go, oh yeah, I love this track, because you don't really get to experience it enough, I don't think.
Yeah, and you're not learning it. And then that kind of has diluted mirror mode slightly, because when with mirror mode, you had the muscle memory of learning a track one specific direction. When mirror mode kicked in, you then had to relearn it in the opposite direction, which made it a bit of a challenge. But because there's no classic Grand Prix mode,
there is no muscle memory yet.
Muscle memory's not kicked in just yet.
Which is weird. Because like mirror mode's meant to be like the really hard mode. It's like, well,
and
actually,
it's not.
It's just,
it's kind of
normal mode.
Yeah, it's kind of a tame mode, to be honest with you. I must say, I found this Mario Kart, and people probably go like, "Oh, why are you noob?" But like, I have found this Mario Kart to be one of the hardest Mario Karts to complete. Like when I got Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, that's right, on the Wii U, I completed the 150 on all the tracks in at most 3 attempts.
I mean, is this an issue though with the AI though? Because I've seen a lot of people kind of not moaning but wondering the AI,
the rubber banding,
seems to be a bit
worst
unfair.
I've ever seen. The rubber banding in this game is atrocious.
What does rubber banding mean for listeners who aren't gamers, like pro gamer like you?
Doesn't like me. No, I'm not a pro at all either. I just heard it and then I looked it up. Rubber banding just means basically that the game's been programmed to basically have racers follow you quite closely, so that you will never that far away from another racer. It's just to give you it's almost like an artificial challenge essentially, because if you're
in first place, there's someone kind of behind you,
there's always going to be someone very close behind you, and 9 times out of 10
it's a bit extreme on this one. Like
this is the most extreme because it's not just one person behind you, it tends to be 3 or 4. So the number of times I've been first until like the very last second, and then I've gone fourth, like it's just insane, just by one red shell hitting me. And again, it
and
might
they're
just be
learning
bad
dirty
me playing,
tricks.
They're dirty. The computer players are
AI.
dirty.
It's like some of them have been doing short, because you can rail, wall ride, do tricks, you can avoid blue shells. It's like the AI is learning to avoid blue shells. It's learning to like do dirty tricks, to all sorts.
No word of a lie. I was playing Mario Kart. I've told you this already, but I was playing Mario Kart, and I was first place. No, I wasn't. Sorry, I was second place. I was quite close to first place. I was rubber banding them. I was playing them their own tricks, and a blue shell was coming. You could see it like beep beep beep, and it was coming. The first place computer challenger deliberately stopped, slowed down, let me pass, so the blue shell would hit me. I've never seen a Mario Kart game.
You probably went to
me
9th place.
Yeah, I got knocked right down there after that to 11th.
That's the other issue online as well. It's like insane, because there's 24 people instead of like, what is it, 12 before? 14, something like that. There's so many people, and there's like clusters, where if you get stuck in a cluster of like
anything below 6th,
to about 14th, 15th, so about
you're
15th,
in trouble. Yeah,
you're just all bundled together, all exploding each other, or getting
Yeah.
run over, or God knows what. So I don't know how they fixed that. Because I mean, it's a bit on Knockout Tour. It's better because as you keep going, less people get knocked out and there's less people. But in the maybe classic mode needs to have 14 players.
Well, they could go down to 12, the original 12.
Yeah, 12.
Go down to 8 if you wanted. But then,
No, 12 for the 3 tracks on the laps without
Yeah.
intermission. But it's just chaos because you cannot get out of.
I mean, that would be interesting if they did it in the classic mode on the game, but also if they did it on the online, so you had an option of 12 players. Classic.
Just give us options.
Just give us options, Nintendo.
You can't even increase or decrease music. It's like, well,
Talking of which, my friend, talking of which, they need a music player. This is how I would fix Mario Kart. They need a music player on Mario Kart.
there's lots of tracks.
There's a humongous number of top A quality tracks on the game, but do you know what's really missing? The name of the title of the track is below the screen. And I don't care if people like Nintendo want us to be surprised by it. I'll still be surprised by it and excited by hearing it and knowing what the track is
The first
underneath.
time you hear it can be. The second time, tell us what it is.
Just tell us what it is. I want a GTA style radio station. Print
In free roam.
Peach FM.
Yeah.
Peach 24/7. Peach
Or
FM.
Rosalina Talk Station.
Rosalina talks. Oh my god, can you
where
imagine?
she talks about the topics of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, and I'll tell
With
you what,
callers
it's
phoning
getting
in.
that Mushroom Kingdom. I tell you think America's got problems. You should see what the Mushroom Kingdom's up to right now.
Bowser calls in regularly to moan about all the toads.
America, no place for kings. You should see the Mushroom Kingdom. No place for princesses. That's what they're saying.
Too many Yoshis here. Immigrating
too
in.
Too many red Yoshis. That's what they're most mad about. Those green ones, they're native. Yeah.
Maybe they could have that could be another collectible in the open world. It could be records. So you do a piece which you get rewarded with a record for your radio station, and you can select and play it in free
record
roam.
as in a song.
A song, yeah.
All right, Grandad. Oh, get a CD.
Well, I think Rose doesn't Pauline use vinyls.
Pauline.
So you know,
she's a one
that
up
could
girl.
be enough, just more things to unlock. Same as costumes. I don't like how they were behind those takeaway bags.
Takeaway bags,
at
I agree.
random, which were weird. Like, why didn't I'd rather do something and get a costume?
But this goes back to us, a shop. Have a currency. If you're going to make it a daily or a live service, which I feel like it wants to be, but it's not. And I don't know why Nintendo just won't
And it should
flick
be.
the switch. I feel like Nintendo you don't need to charge either for
Well, they
extra
already have.
live service. Well, what I mean is Splatoon, they released Splatoon and they've not asked for any extra additional cost, and they do a kind of it's a live service light with Splatoon, like they have.
Well, they have like
weekends.
questions. You choose a
ketchup
team.
or mustard.
They
or
could do that on this as well. They could do that every week. There's a
teams would be
question.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
What question would you have on the Mushroom Kingdom? Red Yoshi or Green Yoshi?
Mario or Luigi? We start off basic.
Always
wouldn't it?
Luigi.
Team. I don't know.
Donkey Kong or
Pauline.
Pauline. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this
It could
is
be all
what
sorts, and like it
boils
could be
down
like
to.
race on Peach's Castle, or it could be put 2 tracks together, and if you just keep racing it, it adds on part of your team, and then at the end of the week, whoever's raced each track the most wins points.
Again,
or
I
gold
think that's a
coins or
Splatoon
whatever.
thing, but I think they normally give away a costume. So if you're part of the winning team, you get a costume.
So that's what they could do.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's a glorious game. I'm enjoying it a
Yeah,
lot.
we don't want to be. It's not like we're being negative. It's still a really good game.
It's a
It's
fun
just
game.
like there's so much.
It's a 7.5 according to Ben.
There's so much like missing potential of little bits which could just make it way more. And there's no excuse for them not to have these basic things because they learn the lessons in Mario Kart 8. And
It's the
then
fact they've taken out things from Mario Kart 8, not to have them in this Mario Kart world. And
It's like they kept it so secret,
Yeah.
and like only the people who made it played it. And they were
not
like,
enough testers.
yeah, and their
sorry.
idea of what they'd made was perfect. Don't need to add anything. It's like, well, you need some testers, like actual people who live in the real world playing it, being like, well, can you just add this option, just one menu option, please? Like,
But they did it.
it's just that little thing.
Yeah, they did it with
maybe
Mario
that was the
Kart on
problem.
the Wii U before it became Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They changed it so like the next button wasn't the one underneath the replay button after you finished each race. So when people were jamming A, they were going to play the replay all the time.
Exactly.
So they did a patch and they fixed it. It just feels like, I keep saying this, it just feels like it's a live service. Nintendo want it to be a live
They should have had
service.
it be ready to be live now.
Well, I don't know if it's that they're not ready to do it or whether they're worried about pulling that trigger.
Or sometimes Nintendo do that thing where they're like, we want you to learn the game first before we on. What did they do?
Mario,
that with?
Mario,
Was it Maker?
Mario
Yeah.
Maker. They gave one element out once a day for 2 weeks. So you had question mark blocks.
and
Now
they
you
were
need
like,
to learn how to do question mark blocks.
You can learn it as you go. Maybe
it was done.
Maybe they're doing that. They're like, well, you can learn the new Mario Kart World, and then we'll add the actual game in once you've learnt. So, I don't know.
I'm excited to see where Mario Kart.
Well,
World's
none
gonna
of these
go.
things are big things as well. They're
No.
all such little, easy to program. Everyone, especially if you're Nintendo,
If they add any of these,
you
things,
know how to do it.
Well, and also if they add any of these things, I'm taking each one as a win, and I will be telling everyone about it for the rest of my life.
The main one though is
Build your own track.
No, is the
100%.
online 3 courses. That is like the main thing
the
that
laps,
people.
you mean the 3 laps?
Yeah. Just let people play 3 laps
on a course rather than
at least
having to choose.
50% of the time, if not more. But at the moment, it's hardly ever. That's the main complaint I've seen online. And then the rubber banding, that's just adapting.
Rubber banding
that.
is something that you just get used to.
They can
to be
adapt
fair.
that as it goes. I think that's what they did with Smash Bros. And then it's the open world just needs to be
It's not
populated.
open world, it's a free roam.
Well, it needs to become open world and just be populated with stuff to do.
It's a lot.
Weekly and daily challenges.
Yeah.
You log in, play for 10 minutes, and log out every day.
And music tracks that you can choose and you can favourite, and so you can keep listening to the same tracks you like on loop and have the option of choosing. I mean, that would, I don't know, might ruin
they
it a little
have-
bit, but have the option of choosing what track you want to listen to when you're doing a race. I'd like that. I get Nintendo's choice is normally spot on, but like, even if I was doing a knockout tour where it's not really specified what music you listen to, I'd like the option to choose.
Right to choose.
The right to choose. Come on, Nintendo, give us the right to choose.
We're not asking much, that's all.
But then this is Nintendo, and Nintendo think that, like, you know, we know what you want, so you'll take it.
Play it how we tell you to play it. But like, Mario Kart Tour has like 400 costumes for characters. They could just reuse those assets.
It was much cheaper to do, though, I say.
Yeah, but I don't care. Just reuse those assets and just sparkle them up a bit and give me more costumes.
Also,
more
I
characters.
wouldn't want them to reuse
Also, the character
two-
selection screen needs to just be the character. You click the character
and then the
costume.
costumes.
Yeah, that's
true.
stupid too.
That's true. But then someone did say that the reason for that might have been because it being played on a small screen, you need to have big icons so you can see what each thing is.
Well, if you're in handheld mode, the icons can be increased.
Okay. That's more engineering.
I'm sure they can. Or you can download a sister app and you choose on the app. Link to your thing.
Here we go. That's an improvement. They should have the Super Mario World app like they have for Zelda now. And on that app, you can have the map. So you can
Yes, and it can show you P-switches that you've done.
Yes, so you can then look on the map where you are and drive around. A bit like a sat-nav.
Exactly. They made it for Breath of the Wild, which is already out. It's like, that's not even a new game. Why have you spent all that time? You should have made a Mario Kart World app.
They've had 8 years. 8 years. You said
you
you
could pick your
built this
music
game.
on there as well.
But that should be on the Nintendo Music app.
It could
Again,
be
that's a big bone of contention.
Rosalina's Spotify app. Click it and you can play music.
Listen, you're trying to be clever because I said Cooper for Uber. They're not going to get it, I'm afraid. But no, the Super Mario Music, the Nintendo Music app should 100% have these tracks on there right now. And
You should sync it to while you're playing.
And the fact that Nintendo haven't is a crime, and I'm very angry with you, Nintendo. You should please put all those tracks. They're already on YouTube illegally. Just put them on your app. You're not stopping anyone from listening to something. You're not... It's always a problem. Always a problem.
Right, so there you go. I think that's covered our... not complaints. They're not complaints, but just covered our wishes. That's the little things you need to add in.
And I'm sure we'll think of more, and I'm sure you guys have got ones of your own. So if you have, and you're watching us on YouTube, you can find us by looking Faithful 2 Podcast. Well, first of all, YouTube, you can ring the bell, like us, subscribe, comment underneath the video. If you're watching or listening to us on Spotify, you can also comment underneath the video.
And follow us.
And you can follow us on there as well. And you can follow us on Apple, any of your favourite podcast apps. And if you do like listening to the podcast, give us 5 stars. And if you want to help with the podcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, where you can buy us the said coffee or a coin.
We did have a comment as well, because last week on our podcast, which is nothing about gaming and probably this is a completely different audience, but Andy got in touch and said, "It's a me, Andy." Do you know what that's an impression of? Mario.
Oh, thank you.
It's okay.
I thought Andy was just...
Also, That Yoshi impression by Alex was brilliant. What impression was that?
Do you want me to do it again?
Yes.
So when Yoshi eats an egg, just imagine that in your head. Yum.
And pops it out, doesn't he?
The
He says, I love Mario Kart World, but I would love it if they allowed 3-lap races on all tracks. The knockout tour is brilliant. So
Absolutely.
it's a weird thing, isn't it? It's like people want the 3 laps, but also the knockout tour, which is the intermission tracks, is the thing that people are moaning about. But at the same time, that's the new thing that people really like. So it's not like they're bad. It's just don't mix the two.
I don't mind
one
the
lap,
intermissions.
1 intermissions as knockout.
I don't mind the intermissions as a separate thing. Just give me an option so I can have classics as well. And the classic cups could be like the 2D pixels for the mushroom, for the banana, for the thing. Yeah, I said that when we recorded this last time, and I was keeping to that idea. But yeah,
you already said it earlier in this podcast. Actually.
Oh, did I? Oh, there you go. I said it twice now.
So,
but just give us options, Nintendo. Give us options. Come on.
So
now.
if we've missed
You've
anything, and you think no, this needs to be added, then let us know in the comments what you want added, taken away, what you agree with us about, what you disagree with us.
You can even message us directly on social media at Faithful2 Podcast on Spotify, Instagram, Blue Sky. All those
Nintendo app. Add us on Nintendo.
If you email Nintendo directly,
so I put our friend codes in the description if people can add us.
Do that. If you want to add us, friend codes will be in the description of the video.
Go.
And
what fun.
So, if you agree with some of our ideas, lobby Nintendo. Send them this video.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll be interested.
Mass tweet them. So yeah, we don't know what we're doing now for the podcast after this. Maybe more gaming. There's Donkey Kong Direct.
Oh, there is a Donkey Kong Direct. Exciting.
Who knows? Or we might do TV. We don't know. We don't know what we're doing. We watch lots of TV. Who knows? Let us know what you want to hear, what you watch.
If you follow us on social media, we're going to put lots of ideas out now, and just let us know which ones you think are the strongest ones. But do follow us, because we're hoping to keep carrying on making a podcast once a week.
Yes.
On what? We do not have an idea.
No.
We've been doing The Traitors. We've been doing Big Brother. We've been doing Race Across the World. Nintendo.
The world's our oyster. So,
well, shall I book us a...
maybe someone should do a podcast about our podcast, about how we can improve this podcast, like we just did for Mario Kart
more than
World.
happy for someone to do a podcast.
We can listen
about
to
our
that
podcast.
and then take on their advice and implement it.
But then we could do a podcast about their podcast about our podcast.
We'll react.
It would just be a spiral of confusion. Anyway, I'm going to order us a Cooper.
Yes.
And hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope to join you again real soon. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.